assembling and installing the DJI Dropsafe. Prepare the DJI Dropsafe box, your flight platform, a receiver, and a remote controller. CO2 canisters are required and not included with the DJI Dropsafe. Only use ISI 16-gram CO2 canisters or other 16-gram CO2 canisters with specifications as shown in the figure. Improper use of the 16-gram CO2 canisters or using other CO2 canisters may cause system error or damage. Open the box. There are three main parts: the main body, the parachute fabric, and the accessories. Remove the side stripes and center screw, then take off the parachute housing. Now we'll connect the signal wires to the system base. Connect the backup battery to the receiver's power port. Using receiver 6208 as an example, connect the battery to the 8B channel. Turn on the battery and receiver. Turn on the remote controller and pair the receiver and remote. Then map channel 5 to a training switch. Map channel 6 to any 2-position or 3-position switch. Make sure both channel 5 and channel 6 are in the low signal position. A Futaba remote control serve interface will display channels 5 and 6 at -100, which means a low signal. Turn off the backup battery and turn off the remote controller. Connect RC1 to channel 5 of the receiver. Connect RC2 to channel 6 of the receiver. Connect WK to port F4 when using an A2 flight controller. Connect ECO to port X3 when using an A2 flight controller. A2 users should upgrade to firmware version 2.4 and enable the parachute function in the assistant software. Please do not enable this function if you are not using a parachute. Move the GPS module to a suitable position after completing the connections. Now we'll mount the system base. Attach the Velcro strips to the Dropsafe base and the center of the aircraft's upper board, then stick the base to the aircraft. Keep the channel 5 and channel 6 switches in a low signal position. Make sure the triggering spring and the triggering pin are in the system base. Rotate the bolt until it is at the bottom of the trigger compression tool. Screw the tool onto the system base. Use the hex wrench to tighten the tool. Complete exactly 5 clockwise rotations to make the driving hammer move away from the system base. Turn on the main controller. Wait for the Dropsafe self-test to complete. Press the initialization button on the circuit board. The LED indicator will blink red when initialization is complete. If the LED continues to blink red after the self-test or initialization, this means the channel 5 and/or channel 6 switches of the remote controller are not in a low signal position, or the parachute function is not activated in the assistant software. Now use the hex wrench to completely tighten the trigger compression tool. The LED indicators will display one solid green light and one blinking red light for 9 seconds. If the LED shows a blinking green light and there is no red light, this means that the channel 5 and 6 switches of the remote control are not in a low signal position. When complete, red LED indicators will turn off. To ensure that both the remote controller settings and connections are correct, it's highly suggested that you test the system before flight. Here is how to test the system. Use the hex wrench to loosen the trigger compression tool. Complete only one counterclockwise rotation. Note: do not rotate it more than one time, otherwise the hammer may be damaged. Toggle the channel 5 switch on the remote controller and keep it in the high signal position. Then toggle the channel 6 switch on the remote control and keep it in the high signal position. Now the triggering hammer will release, and if you see it move, the test is successful. The LED indicators will display solid green and red lights. Please check your settings and connections if the hammer is not successfully released. Turn off the aircraft's power source after testing, then turn it back on. Wait for the Dropsafe self-test, then press the initialization button. Use the hex wrench to tighten the trigger compression tool by rotating clockwise until the LED indicators display a solid red light. The hammer is locked again when the LED indicator displays a green light and the red light is off. Turn off the aircraft power. Now we'll assemble the main body. Remove the trigger compression tool. Screw the manifold onto the system base. Ensure the short lines on the system base are aligned to the center of each manifold arm. Place the parachute housing onto the system base. Ensure the LED window on the parachute housing is aligned with the LED indicators on the system base. Put on the side stripes. Identify the side stripe that is directly behind the LED indicators. Thread the safety pin into the hole on this side stripe and through the system base. Install the CO2 canister. Now the main body assembly is complete. Now prepare the parachute. Take the parachute out of the bag. Completely unfold the parachute over the system base with the hole over the manifold. Thread the CO2 canister through the hole. Ensure the 3 short strings are aligned with the 3 arms of the manifold. Put the packing tool in place. Thread the bottom of the parachute through the packing tool. Hold the short strings. Fold the parachute starting from the outside and moving to the center. Tuck the folded parachute fabric under the packing tool. The packing tool will hold it in place. Repeat the steps with each side of the parachute. Fold as shown here. Folding is complete. Now hold the longer string and crisscross it between your index finger and little finger. Put the folded string on top of the parachute. Then pull the longer strings through the grooves on the side of the parachute housing. Remove the packing tool and slide the winglets onto the manifold. Place a string holder on each long string. Affix the short strings to the winglets. Tie the strings to each arm of your aircraft. Tighten securely. Assembly is complete. S1000 series users should connect and secure each string to its specified position as circled above. Now we'll demonstrate how to deploy the Dropsafe. Connect the aircraft power supply, then press the power switch to activate the backup battery. Connect the backup battery to the receiver power port. Wait 9 seconds until the LED displays a green light. Remove the safety pin. Toggle channel 5 of the remote control and keep it in the high signal position. The Futaba remote control serve interface will display channel 5 at +100. Then toggle channel 6 of the remote control to the high signal position. The Futaba remote control serve interface will display channel 6 at +100. Then you can trigger the parachute. If automatic deployment is activated, the Dropsafe will deploy automatically when the flight controller detects an emergency. Thanks for watching.